Welcome to the Nerdiverse. Go ahead, sit and listen to the masters, the old heads, talk about what you love the most. Video games, comics, movies, and everything you need to maintain. We got the knowledge that's straight out the ether. Gonna need a drink and have to take a seat to expand your mind and listen to the speaker. Mike and the squad's gonna give you what you need. Please send in a question, come and get some answers, learn a couple lessons from the masters with the special guests. We got the Green Lanterns glowing on their chest. Yes, please sit back and relax, cause we're gonna hit you with them stone cold facts. And allow me to be the very first to welcome you to the masters of the Nerdiverse. Welcome to Masters of the Nerdiverse, where we always have set sights to show you. This casual encounter of a podcast can be found on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and Google Play. And newly with us is Spotify. So if you're listening to us on any of these devices and ways to listen to shows like ours, I say thank you, gracias, domo. I'm, of course, your host, Mike G. And with me, as always, is my cartoonishly charismatic co-host, Winter.
I can't beat that. All right. Hey, what's up, you jerks?
Just got something in the audience.
That's a Jason.
That's how you defeat
Banzukis. How did this get made? Reference, right? I'm your boy Winter. Handle at TrashMonk3rd. Almost switched back to Winter's morning due to some events that have taken place, but we will keep it a TrashMonk3rd for right now.
Yeah, man. You know, you're like Prince. Your persona has to evolve with how you're feeling.
But they still called him Prince, though, right? Or like the artist formerly known as Prince. Did anyone ever call him that?
Supposedly he super didn't like it either. He's just like, call me by this. Like, that's not a word, sir. He's like, it is now.
Yeah.
Jeez, man.
only in Prince world could that happen.
Can you imagine having to hold up like a cue card with you at all times if you're in Prince's entourage, and like anytime you want his attention, you just have to hold up the card? He's like, yes. That's the only way he'll respond to you. How may I help you? He's like, and you're like, hold up the sign. Can I go to the bathroom because it's really late? And you know how it goes. And Prince just holds up a sign that says yes or no. He does a thumbs up, thumbs down, like freaking Julius Caesar. He doesn't even respond to you.
Right.
That would be epic and assholey, but that would fit just fine. Oh man, welcome back to the show, Winter. How you doing, man? How you living, Brig?
Yeah. Well, it's been interesting work. I had to wake up at like 6 o'clock. I was working from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Yeah.
It was not a good time, as they say.
Not a good time.
No. And this Sunday, I'm officially going to be ordained to be a level 5 cleric at my church.
Damn. Awesome.
Plus 5 charisma. And it was a D&D joke. We don't really have levels, just to get you people know what I'm talking about into the loop.
So at a level 5, do you get like the healing wand of Xanthor at that point?
That's what that joke needed right there. Just go full blast D&D in that. But no, yeah, that's gonna be cool. I'm kind of like excited. And it opens up some interesting opportunities coming up, particularly with some upcoming news that I can't release yet, but it will be taking up a lot more time, and I had to cancel my plans of doing a YouTube channel because I don't have the time for it now. Yes.
Yeah. It's all about priorities, my good sir. And
yes, but I'll still be focused on podcasting. Sorry.
Cool, absolutely, man. You're taking a really big undertaking, and I can only applaud you in your future endeavors, especially on that front. Because then you can start telling really cool Bible stories, like the story of Jacob and how he wrestled an angel for 24 hours, and he was able to. This human being,
the first pro wrestling match on the world. because it
This
was fixed.
Cadillac of men was able to physically harm a celestial being. That's like Infinity War stuff right there, man.
Yeah, you went with Cadillac, huh? I would have gone with Lincoln.
You know, this Prius of men.
This Lincoln of a man.
This Pontiac Solstice of a man. Gee.
This Honda CRV of a man.
Wow, he sounds like he's girthy, dog. He's
yeah. By the way, I will be getting a new vehicle. That's another thing coming up this week. My sister is gifting me her old vehicle.
Good for you, man. Get it back on the road, as it were. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's what's up, dude. Get you on.
Yeah, that's pretty much what's going on. Yeah, I keep interrupting you. I'm sorry.
This is your week, man. So I'm interrupting you, if anything.
Yeah. Our fans will know from Twitter that I've been playing Paladins with this guy that I just met randomly in a queue, and it turns out that he's a streamer, and he's got all these other. He's like a part of a big group of streamers.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, we've just been promoting each other. It's been pretty cool.
That's cool, man. That kind of ties into what I've been doing with my week, because I've been really focusing on like our Twitter presence, and have gotten some really interesting results. Do you know? I don't remember the name of his stream. Do you know the name of his stream off the top of your head? For this streamer,
Dead Cell Dan.
Dead Cell Dan, yes. So I immediately liked him and followed him on Twitter. So he followed us back. So shout outs to Dan for that. And I've gotten some really interesting tweet backs and likes from like Brian Michael Bendis. He's the guy who created Miles Morales and Ms. Marvel. He's like a really big Marvel Comics curator who just recently shifted to DC, and he acknowledged one of my posts, which was really cool. Apparently me and Newsarama are working to bring back the X-Men the X-Men #1 pizza deal with Pizza Hut. Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
Really quick, for those 90s heads, back in the 90s when Jim Lee did the iconic X-Men #1, it was actually given for free with every large one-topping pizza at Pizza Hut. This is like back when Pizza Hut was just a restaurant. It wasn't really a delivery service at that point. So as kids, we're just clamoring for the two things we love the most, which is comics and pizza. And I made the funny remark to Pizza. I added Pizza Hut and added Marvel. Like, you guys should bring that back. And Newsarama hit me back up, was like, "Is this what you're talking about?" And he showed like an old commercial for it, and I totally geeked out. I was like, "See, Newsarama, you know exactly what I'm talking about." So hopefully, if I could just get a like out of Pizza Hut, that means it's coming back. That's how I'm going to take it. So our Twitter family has grown exponentially in the last, I want to say, month. A little under a month.
Nice.
I would say we almost quintupled the amount of people following our channel in a month just by doing a little bit more legwork. And I'm really excited for that. I'm super, super, super excited about that. So if you found us on Twitter and you've liked our page and we've liked your page back, thank you for listening. And I will hope to bring you that fire. Not Mob Deep, MOP would say. Annie up. You guys know what I'm talking about. Oh, anything else with your week, winner, before I hijack it and just go right into mine?
No, I'm good to go. That was a pretty succinct,
nice and tight. Got to be tight, you know.
Toy.
My suit's so tight. My suit's so tight. Only like 5 people know what I'm talking about. All right, what did I do this week? Man?
Yeah,
played more Monster Hunter. There's a weird summer event going on, so I have to do that because the completist in me needs to do that. Playing more Warframe. I want to talk about this for a second because this game I like Hellraiser and I like the Lament configuration and, the metaphor behind the Lament configuration, and how once you unwrap it, you just go deeper and deeper into it. It's like a maze. Warframe feels like the Lament configuration of games for me right now because it's like it's so dense and it just throws you to the wolves. You know what I'm saying? There's really no tutorial. It shows you how to walk, how to run, how to shoot, how to use your powers, and that's pretty much it. That's the end of the tutorial. But there's so many systems and subsystems and color your armor and different things fold into different things and how PvP works, how PvE works. It's so dense. And right now it's giving me a headache, but it's so much fun. You run around with people, you go on spy missions, you go on you do espionage missions, which is really cool. You do attack the get the flag and all that stuff, and I'm having a ball with it. It's just really, really. It's like watching 3D for too long. Your eyes start to hurt after a while because it's really high. It's a high octane game because you're constantly running and going forward. It almost reminds me of a weird mix between Sonic the Hedgehog and like Gears of War in a weird way. It's like, you can't stop, right? You're just going because everybody else on your team is like moving at 10 times speed. And you're just running forward and you're slicing and dicing. And you're using your weapons and bow and arrows, and you have buffs to your character the longer you play. It's just nuts. So, and with the new information that's coming out about the game, I'm just trying to catch up. And so I'm just going to be running a lot more Warframe in the future. And I'll keep you guys posted on that. Excuse me. Other than that, I went to go see Ant-Man and the Wasp, the new Marvel, vehicle. And I'll talk about that more on the review. We're doing MOTN reviews of Ant-Man and the Wasp, which should be coming out not this week, probably next week. But I will say that
you get what you pay for
you're going to get what you thought you were going to get. You're going to get what you paid for. Yeah. You're going to get what you paid for, man. It's not bad. It's not good. It's just, I don't know. I'll talk about that more later. And that's pretty much been my week. I'm just a little, like winter, I'm just a little doing new things, trying out new things, a little tired, burning the candle at both ends, as it were. But that's okay. That's what it's all about. Getting that work now. So
we're calling you out, Nerdist.
We could be podcast kings in the future and have, solid gold giraffes.
We'll be the new Chris Hart.
Damn,
we'll be the new Pete Holmes.
Cut you, man.
We can't be Chris Hardwick.
Oh, jeez. I don't want to be we can't be the new Chris Hardwick. I don't think Chris Hardwick wants to be the new Chris Hardwick.
Points. There you go. That was a hard P there. That's not good for audio.
I know. Right? Suffering succotash. Just wreck this podcast.
Power to the people, punk.
Power to the people, punk. Those hard P's. I'm only making this harder for myself because I have to edit this later. Damn it. This is what happens. This is why we can't have nice things. Oh, man. Let's get into this news.
Let's get to the news. Let me rustle some paper like we're stacking.
We're such businessmen. We wear suits to the podcast, dude. We wear big-ass suits. I'm wearing a zoot suit right now, dude.
Mm-hmm. We need to bring back pogs.
All right. Bring back pogs. I want MOTN in pog form. That's... once we start going to conventions, I'm going to just have a shitload of pogs out. It's just MOTN pogs. We're going to start running some side matches in the corner. Some pog
What have you done?
Let them fight. You know what I'm saying? Whoever wins gets the golden MOTN pog. It's the best.
I'm not going to lie to you here. I got to say, I did not realize pog was actually a game that people played.
What did you think it was? What did you think Pog was?
I thought it was just like collectibles. I thought they were just like collectible things. And then it was like, no, you stack them together and you're like knocking stuff off. I'm like, what?
Pog was Pokemon before Pokemon, dude. Like you go to school with like your 70s. You have like four different slammers and like your 75s like Pog that you keep. You just see a kid training. You're like, pathetic. You walk up to him. You want to run a real quick game of Pog real quick. You play Pog, whoever flips up top, you win. You end up getting a slammer and leave him as a broken man. And you tell him, if you train If you want to try to win your slammer back, I'll let you try. You walk away.
I choose you, Alfie Pog. Alfie.
I just want a Pog anime, and I want to be serious as shit with consequences. I just want to. I want like the guy who voices M. Bison to be the evil Pog master. He's like, "Oh me wa, Shinderi," and he just slams the Pog down, and like lightning bolts and like a Blue Eyes shows up. I want a real sick Pog anime for the childrens nowadays. This is what I need on Funimation. I want a sick Pog OVA. Oh man. Jeez Louise. Now this is the Pog cast at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. News. Let's get into the news. I was kind of weird about the news because this is Comic-Con week. And I was thinking about holding off doing like a news segment because I wanted to try to catch all the Comic-Con news. But I'm like, it's all at the tail end of the week. You know what I mean? It's like by then the show's out. So we'll get the Comic-Con stuff, whatever it's going to be next week. But there's still plenty of news that's been kind of trickling out that we can talk about. Case in point is that coming soon from the creators of Walking Dead, particularly like Greg Nicotero, the guys at KMB who do all the effects for Walking Dead. They did the effects for Narnia and some. I think they did the effects for Lord of the Rings too. Or that might have been Weta.
Yeah. And also Avatar: Last Airbender.
Oh yeah,
I just made that up. Jesus. I just made that up. But
okay. They might have. Those guys get work. Those guys get a lot of work, but I'm sure that's not like on their plaques it's not on the wall. We did graphics for we did Appa for Last Airbender. They're going to be making a Creepshow TV series, which I'm extremely excited for. For those who don't know what Creepshow is, it's a horror anthology film. It was kind of like a dream match back in the day because it included all the big horror directors all working on, I believe it was 4 different shorts kind of wrapped in one movie. Kind of think of it like Trick or Treat. Did you ever see that with, I think his name was Michael Dougherty?
Well, I've always heard that it was just George Romero and Stephen King.
Also,
together.
I mean, it was George Romero, Stephen King. I think, I don't want to mess this up. I think there was one more. I think it was like Mick Garris, maybe, did one of the shorts as well. But it was really like a Marvel versus Capcom of like horror shorts. And it's like actually one of the best anthology films of all time, in my opinion. Like between that, Twilight Zone, the movie, I may be mixing those two up. But them doing a television series with like little shorts from different horror influencers that are kind of out and about nowadays. I would love to see a James Wan episode.
David Lynch. Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? Or bring Stephen King back for an episode. A David Lynch episode, a Cronenberg episode. And these guys will do it because there's a precedent set for this, because Showtime used to have a little show called Masters of Horror, which was one of my favorite series. I love that series. So anytime a horror anthology can be brought back to the mainstream, I'm super down for it, because it just helps. It helps new creative people have an option to show off their stuff. You know what I mean? A lot of these directors are discovered this way. So I'm more than down to check this out, because I'm a huge Creepshow fan. Even though Creepshow 2 wasn't that good.
With
for those who will ask,
Angela Barbeau or whatever her first name is
in the entire movie is the one with, it's called The Crate, where this, you know what I'm talking about?
We're still under the mesmerization of Angela Barbeau, whatever her name is.
Adrienne Barbeau, yeah, where the guy literally has a Tasmanian devil under like the stairs of a university. And the thing's like 1,000 years old. Something nuts.
Yeah. Please refer to your episodes of MOTN for reference.
Yeah, we're still in the Barbeau zone. We never left. You know what I'm saying? We never left the Barbeau zone.
Yes. I'm telling you, it makes a twist right there.
Yeah, look up Beware the Barbeau Zone. That's a good episode right there. Apparently, we've been there this whole time. We're just... What a twist, right? So, speaking of twists, uh, dropped today actually was Bad Robot's D-Day kind of horror movie, Overlord. Did you see the trailer for this?
Yeah, Bad Robot's first ever rated R movie.
Jeez. Ugh. Now, just that sentence alone bothers me because all they've done is like horror-themed science fiction.
Yeah.
And we're just stuck under that. Everyone's so afraid of that R rating.
I don't know if they're afraid of it. Are they still afraid of it? I mean, do kids even care anymore?
Kids may not care, but producers care. You know what I mean? Because they think kids still care. And
right. Right. It's like, we're just going to stream this off Pornhub. That's fine.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Jeez. Overlord. the Pornhub edition, dog. I don't know. It's just the trailer rubbed me the wrong way because I thought the music didn't fit what was going on. The music was real high pitched and like exciting, but it was like all like legit horror going on. Like there's some truly gnarly scenes in the trailer, and I was just like, I wish they would have picked a different song for this trailer. It just throws it completely off. It's like playing "Dream On" by Aerosmith when you're seeing some dude, half of his face is eaten out, and he's talking. It's like you can see like his viscera out of his face. I'm like, no, it's not a good feeling.
Yes, I played
three of those. This whole premise reminds me of a game called Resistance: Fall of Man. You remember that?
I think the second one was not good, but
those are fun games, right? Yeah, man. So it's like, yeah, I like Resistance 1, I like Resistance 3. Those are the ones I play. I didn't play 2. But, it's the whole premise of the Nazis got a hold of some space-age technology, and they immediately start messing up. They immediately start messing with things. And it's just like, okay, this is where we're going to go and have a little bit of fun with it. There's super soldiers involved in this trailer. There's some kind of monster. Of course there is. And apparently they're saying that this has no ties to Cloverfield, which we already know is a lie. So it's whatever. I think.
Wait, was this the movie that they? Yeah. This is definitely has a tie to Cloverfield. I remember them talking about this movie coming out like beginning of the year. Right? Okay, I just realized this right now that it was under the Cloverfield Overlord banner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is like now they want to hide. They are liars. First of all, they're liars. Mm-hmm. And it's like, guys, like you've already told us that this is part of the Cloverfield. Just because the Cloverfield paradox left a bad taste in everybody's mouth doesn't mean that you get to back down from that. You know what I mean? This is part of Cloverfield. Just eat it. You already said it was. So silly.
Yes,
but nevertheless.
And in other news, I feel like I just had my brain just like died and rebooted when I was reading like more about this while talking about it. On the sidebar, there's Godzilla 2 trailer teaser delivers footage of Millie Bobby Brown. And I'm like, why do they have Whitney Houston's daughter in Godzilla 2? Okay.
Dude, don't go there, man. Dude.
Okay.
Why is Bobby Brown's daughter in Godzilla? That's the worst joke I've ever heard in my life.
It's not a joke. I am dead serious. I'm like, Bobby Brown, Whitney Houston's daughter, why is she in Godzilla 2? I'm dead serious.
First of all, she's dead. God rest her soul.
That's why they deliver footage. Teaser. It's like they're like, why are they acting like this? Like Philip Seymour Hoffman footage.
Oh my goodness, that's painful.
I'm sorry.
If I had the guts, that would be the name of the podcast. But I can't do it. I just can't.
Well, what's Whitney Houston's daughter's name? Is it? Am I right? That's Millie. Close to that?
I think her name was like Bobby. I think her name was like Bobby or something like that, like Bobbi. But I could be totally wrong. Yeah. I don't remember. It's such a tragic tale. That whole thing is tragic as hell.
We cover all things in the Nerdiverse.
That's a part of the Nerdiverse, and the darker parts. Tales from the Dark Side, the movie,
and that will bring you joy.
That's another
Okay.
episode of the podcast. He was like, what?
All right, we can move on.
Speaking of weird parts of the nerdiverse, apparently there's been new casting for Spider-Man Homecoming. No, Spider-Man Far From Home. They're going to just keep this home motif. And it adds an actor named Newman Akar. And the reason I bring it up is because everybody's thinking that he may play the Chameleon, which is one of the oldest Spider-Man villains. I think he was created by Steve Ditko. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to play Kraven the Hunter because the guy looks more like Kraven the
That'd be
Hunter
cool.
to me. And I really, really want to see Kraven the Hunter on screen because I think he's an awesome villain. And I just think the Chameleon would be kind of a throwaway villain. Because even though Mysterio is in this movie, going to be played by Jake Gyllenhaal, Mysterio's not going to carry your movie. You know what I'm saying? Like Kraven could. So I'm hoping that Jake Gyllenhaal doesn't get a huge role in this. Like he just plays it. Mysterio's best as a throwaway villain that gets beat up in the first 5 minutes because he's the jobber villain, kind of like Shocker. You know what I mean? But we'll see. I'm just curious to see if this guy's going to be Chameleon. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that he's going to be Kraven the Hunter because everyone knows Kraven's Last Hunt is like top 5 Spider-Man stories of all time. If you haven't read Kraven's Last Hunt, please do it.
And cue the boys club, Culture Kids, or Chameleon song, Pet Culture. Who sings that? I know it's Boy George.
Chameleon.
Yeah. Well, I think it's Culture Club. We're not from the 80s.
It's Boy
Kids,
George.
shut up.
Culture Club or Culture Clash or something like that. Culture Club.
No.
I was just born during it. It's like I didn't know what was going on. I was still looking into space and drilling and stuff. I was out of effect. Oh man! Speaking of people who are spacing out, let's talk about Greg Berlanti developing a Batwoman series for the CW. Okay, here's the thing.
I missed that article. There we go. Like, wait a minute, that came out of left field. Got it.
So
okay,
let's back it up a little bit. So the CW has been home for
trash. Yes,
for all the DC shows such as Arrow to Flash to Legends to Black Lightning, and there's always been and Supergirl now, but Supergirl started on ABC, but I digress. Thank you. This is why you're here. This is why you're here, Winner, to make me not sound like an asshole. But there's always been rumblings of how do we get Batman into this thing? Because Superman exists in the CW verse. We've seen him. He's there. So how do you get Batman into this? And Batman's such this coveted DC thing that they're so sensitive about, the Bat embargo, things like that. And they decide that we're going to use Batwoman to be the front runner of the Batman family for the CW. Mind you, this could work on 101 different ways. The multiverse has already been established in the CW universe, so it could be a Batwoman from a different plane of existence. Because for Batwoman to exist, you need Batgirl, and for Batgirl to exist, you need Batman. And for her to be like, oh, it's just me, then that could be some random infinite universe spinoff. But with Batwoman being there, it automatically validates that Batman exists. And for them to dance around that may not be best for establishing your world. Right. That being said, it'll be great representation. If the costume is good, it'll be great. Batwoman doesn't have the best villains, so if they just try to rope in Batman villains for Batwoman to fight, it's gonna, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like Batwoman has this giant roster of villains that she can fight. It's all Batman villains, or just in facto Batman villains. So it's like Batwoman is our Batman. That's going to piss people off, of course, because people are
right. Well, it's like if you read what they put, like in Batwoman, armed with a passion for social justice and a flair for speaking her mind, and then you can just cut to we're gonna put Batman villains in it because Batwoman villains aren't strong enough.
That's my major problem with it is that if Batwoman had the rogues gallery to do it, then I'm all for it. Why not? But if you're putting in the Joker and now, they would never use the Joker. Let's say C-list villains like Man-Bat or, the Clock King or Crazy Quilt. You know what I'm saying? Like joke characters.
Yeah, Clock King would be cool.
Clock King would be super cool, by the way, actually. But Tempest Fugit is the best name ever.
Wait, doesn't Batman also have Solomon Grundy?
Yeah, kind of. Solomon Grundy's... he's so old. He's a very old, like, golden age villain. I don't even remember where he originates from. I think he started as like an old school Green Lantern.
Right. Well, time to revamp him. Make him a gay, thin looking man. And yeah, there you go. That's all I got.
And nothing will be wrong with that. As long as he's pale and he says, "My name is Grundy, born on a Monday," then people will be fine with it. But we'll see. It's one of those we'll see things. Died on a Tuesday. But we'll see, man. It's just, I think they're going about it a weird way. And it's Batman's being spread real thin between Gotham and the CW stuff and the Titans on the DC Universe streaming network. And of course the DCEU with Ben Affleck and the Justice League stuff. But, I mean, it could have been like Nightwing. It could have been one of the mini Robins that you can just pull, right? That you could have used. Or it could have been Batgirl. I would have preferred Batgirl over Batwoman. It fits the young curve that the CW has. You know what I mean? Throw Barbara Gordon in there. Oh, Batman's busy. You could just say that. It'll just be that simple.
Batman's busy doing man stuff. You go do your woman stuff. Okay.
Don't get. That's no good.
That's gonna be an episode at least. Like Batman's out saving the entire world. I'm saving my block of New York City. Okay,
that's Spider-Man. That's Spider-Man in a nutshell. It's the Avengers are saving the multiverse, and Spider-Man stopping a mugger in Queens.
Would you say it's also Ant-Man?
That's the friendly neighborhood thing.
In the Wasp?
Ant-Man, funny enough, Ant-Man is more powerful than people give him credit for. Ant-Man is a problem when you really get granular with how his powers work. And in the comics, he's been a lifesaver in very nutty situations. So, for those who don't know, Ant-Man actually, Dr. Pym actually created Ultron, not Tony Stark.
That is true.
Ant-Man created Ultron, not Tony Stark. I have to say that out loud every once in a while because the MCU would have us think otherwise. And I don't want that becoming some kind of weird Mandela effect type of statement where people say, "No, Mike, you're stupid. Tony Stark created Ultron." Like, no. I have to keep repeating it to keep it real. Speaking of things that are going to be real life, supposedly there's going to be some kind of big, giant rerush of Rugrats. They're making a live-action Rugrats movie. Apparently, in a TV series reboot. All I think of is that movie Baby Geniuses, where it's the actual children, but they do like the weird Mr. Ed CG stuff over their mouth.
Right.
And I don't want
that would be horrible. That'd be terrifying.
Like I don't want Uncanny Valley babies running around like live action guys. Like, no, man. Like who wants that? Like,
yes, and stop bringing back these old shows, people. The stuff
they just did Doug.
Okay, Doug they can bring back. Doug can work as a sitcom, pretty much.
Doug would be a super sick sitcom, dude. Patty Mayonnaise was black. I don't care what anybody says. Patty was black.
Didn't know that was that too. Okay.
But only thing I want. Okay, only reason I bring up this Rugrats thing because it's within some corner of the Nerdiverse that's going to drive somebody crazy. All I want is in the marketing for them to have a Reptar bar that turns your tongue green. I will buy that. I just want a Reptar bar. I want to go to a 7-Eleven, I want to get my Reptar Slurpee, my Reptar bar, and I want to mark out and just eat that and be like 10 years old again.
And do a remix of the song that I got sand in my pants. Remember that episode, everybody? You nerds. I got sand in my, and then
You nerds.
Sand in my pants. Yeah. Or something like that. I don't know why he was like.
All I think about is I think about Dale from King of the Hill where he's like, pocket sand. And he just throws it in that dude's eyes.
Right.
Pocket sand. You're like, oh, I've done that to somebody once. He was bigger and stronger. He wanted to fight me. So I had to resort to scumbag tactics to escape. Oh, good times. Growth spurt.
Scumbag tactics. That should be a self-defense class. All right, now what you do is
take the pocket sand,
some sand.
You shove it in your pockets at all times, just in case somebody steps to you. You reach in your pocket, say, "Oh, I need my inhaler," but you pull out pocket sand, you throw it in their face, you kick them,
and then take the pepper spray. Be super liberal with the pepper spray.
Be liberal as you need to with that pepper spray, and say, "That's my purse."
That's my purse. I don't know you.
I don't know you. And you kick them in the nards and you run away at top speed.
Yeah.
And you live to fight another day.
Good time. Okay.
Good time. Speaking of scumbag tactics, Konami, back at it once again, shuts down a remake of PT, but offers the guy internship at their company. Okay. Firstly, there's a lot to unpack with this topic here. PT, for those who don't know, is a playable trailer that was going to be the next Silent Hill game. This was a slice of life kind of experience created by both the minds of Hideo Kojima, who created Metal Gear Solid, and Guillermo del Toro, who created the Oscar-winning what was the movie called? The Shape of Water. And PT was the scariest game I've ever played in my life. It's only like a 30-minute experience if you know what you're doing. And when Konami lost their damn mind and fired Kojima and dismantled Kojima Productions and pretty much just said we're out of the gaming business, PT was so good that people were just downloading it. And Konami ripped it off the servers and said no one else can download this game ever again because it's a sign of times past and we want to move forward. To the point where people were selling PlayStation 4s with PT on it for like $1,000. Right. Remember that? Super nuts, right? So a bunch of modders, a bunch of game makers were like, we're going to remake PT but make a full game out of it. We're going to use the assets and we're going to build this thing out. Konami got wind of it and put the stop to it and say, "Oh, you can work with us if you want," but they're not making any games. It's like offering your friend $5 when you owe them money. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's nothing. It's a gesture. The thing is that if you're going to be doing this with anything, if you're going to be, I want to make a movie about, let's say, Fallout. Me and Winter want to make a Fallout movie or a Fallout game for that matter. You don't tell anyone about it until it's just done, right? You hold that mess close to your chest forever, and then you just quietly put it out on the internet, right?
Yes and no, because it's like we live in a culture of betas, right?
Something illegal. Like if you're making something you're not supposed to make. If this is an original idea, kickstart it. If this is your own thing, kickstart it, get your beta out, have people test it, all that great stuff. But if you're making Resident Evil 3, you're not supposed to be making Resident Evil 3 because you're not contracted by Capcom, and you want to put your game out. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying to do it because it's...
No, this is Citizen Bad 3.
Right? Let's say Silent Hill 3, freaking Bugsby B 3, whatever you want to do. You don't say anything about it. You just do it. And you frog fractions that bastard. You just throw it out there to the internet forever. And there's no way it could ever be taken down because it's now part of the infinite web. You don't...
But how do you get that money, the sweet stacks,
be making these games off of like hairstring budgets, man. I'm sure it doesn't cost much to make a PS2 era game. You know, even sprite work is free depending on the program. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't know too much in it because I'm not a video game programmer. But cats find the money. There's been so many games that have been killed by publishers. Like Dragon Ball, Bid for Power. There was a Resident Evil 2 remake that was floating around. There's been countless remakes of Ocarina of Time in like the Unreal 3 engine and crazy stuff, right? But the problem is they can't shut up about it, and they just tell the world. And you know what's also in the world? That company that owns that property. And it's not good business to have that floating around. So of course they're going to shut it down. What I'm saying to you is to do your fan project and just keep it as tight-lit as possible. So when it's out there, it's out there. And you wipe your hands and it's over. It's the infinite internet has it now. I mean, I'm not saying to do anything illegal, but if you're going to be doing it anyway, do it right. You know?
You heard it here first.
I'm just saying. You're not in trouble unless you get caught. to quote Aladdin. Right. Speaking of Drake, who was a thief, mind you, he stole Jasmine's heart and he lied to her the entire movie. I don't know. The movie's so corrupt. Speaking of Dragon Ball, just really quick, Dragon Ball Z's next DLC batch is going to be what they're calling base Goku and base Vegeta. Pretty much just regular Saiyan Goku, regular Saiyan Vegeta. Yawn. I just wish it seems like a waste of spots for me.
You don't want a regular Goku?
No, man. I want Janemba and Cool and like Mr. Satan and Hercule is what they call him in the U.S. I want other characters. Like I want Jiren for that matter. Just other characters, man. Like how many different versions of Goku do we need in one game? You know, there's counting 5 right now. 5 in a 30 character like fighter. There's 5 different versions of the same character. That's silly.
Right. I like the comment on this. So how many Gokus are in this game? 4. And then they went, wow, the dev definitely sucking Goku.
Yeah, man, he's sucking Goku, man. And Goku makes money, I get it. But at the same time, I'm like, guys, like, help me. Like, because of course there's going to have to be an Ultra Instinct Goku and a Super Saiyan 2 Goku. And don't forget Kid Goku. And just you know, shotgun to the back of the head.
You're trash.
Yeah. It's over.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Dragon Ball Z Fighters is super hype. And of course the characters are going to look amazing. And it just seems like 2 wasted spots for me, personally.
Yeah.
You know,
I would have put Bleach, just that whole show as one character. And
just put one. Don't get me started on Bleach, man. You know how I get. It's very sensitive.
I know.
It's a very sensitive subject for me. Speaking of things that may be sensitive, James Gunn is teasing some kind of movie at San Diego Comic-Con this weekend. And he showed an image, which is this weird, like, Stygian symbols. And a lot of people are of 2 minds of it. One is an idea I want, and one is an idea that would still be fine. People are saying that based on the symbols, he may be making a live-action Bloodborne movie, which would be absolutely insane for those who know what Bloodborne is. It's one of those From Software Souls-likes, but it's like the latest game. No, I would say, but Demon's Souls 3 is the latest game from Software. Bloodborne was before that, I want to say. But Bloodborne is like this Castlevania-like horror game that's an action game, and the setting alone would be beautiful. But people are also saying that this may be a Berserk live action movie, and that's an anime that, for those who know, Berserk is super ultra nuts, like the beginning of Bram Stoker's Dracula, directed by Francis Ford Coppola, types of levels of crazy. And either way, we're winning. But me personally, I would like a good anime movie, you know, for once. And I would love to see James Gunn tackle Berserk and just get really gross and bloody and disturbing with it. You know, they'll never let him do it that way. That's the problem with anime. Sometimes it's too mature, and people still see anime as cartoons, so they'll never give it the full R. But a man could dream, man. A man could dream. Oh.
Yeah, I'm just reading his Twitter account. Apparently, he's in the middle of a battle with... Who do you think he's having a Twitter battle with? James Gunn.
Shit. Probably somebody. Ugh. It's hard because he's very opinionated. James likes to talk to people. You know what I mean?
Yes. Let me read what the guy wrote.
Okay.
I appreciate the sentiment, James Gunn, even if you're as wrong about following me as you were in your directorial decisions in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Ooh, low blow, man. Low blow.
Yes.
Who was he talking to?
He is none other than the Jewish man of fire, Ben Shapiro.
What? Why is he arguing with this man, dude?
I think it had something. There's something that happened today about Mark Duplass, who I have no clue who that is. Oh, that's the guy from the league. I don't know what happened.
James pissed him off apparently.
Yeah,
and he got that hot burn. Oh man, that's rough as hell. Speaking of burns, have you? This is one of the funniest things I've seen. Recently on the show, we've announced that Ridley from Metroid was going to be one of the first DLC characters for Smash Brothers Ultimate, which is the new Smash Brothers game that's going to be on the Switch. And Japanese players didn't take too lightly to this addition. So they've come to start calling Ridley Captain America because nobody in Japan likes Metroid. The addition of this character irritates them. So there's all these memes of Captain America with a Ridley head going around the net. I just think it's funny how, as Americans, it swings the other way. It's like, why are there so many Fire Emblem characters in a Smash game? You know what I mean? Like, we as Americans don't get it. But in Japan, they just eat it right up. They love them some Fire Emblem. And on the American side, it's like, we haven't had a good Metroid game in years. In the Japan side, they're like, we super don't care anything about Metroid, so it's fine. The same way they felt about Mega Man. Mega Man is an American, really American staple. And Japan can care less. So Japan's starting to get salty that all their games are getting these American influences. And they're really irritated with the idea that Ridley's in this game. And I'm just like, guys, relax, man. Like, it's okay, Like, just let us have our one character. I don't get it. Like,
I don't get it either.
We're like, dude,
they need to relax. Go buy some underwear from a vending machine.
I mean, I get it because there's like things like Soul Calibur put in a weird character that people are like, why? You know what I mean? Because it's to placate to another culture, and I get it. I get that part. I don't get why they're just so upset. And they don't normally do that. Like, Japanese players are usually real chill. They're just like, whatever.
Just acknowledge the joke that I made, and we can move on.
I know. I didn't mean to sandbag it.
Just acknowledge that I made a joke about how you can buy underwear from vending machines in Japan, and we can move on.
A, that is 100% true, and B, I acknowledge the hell out of it.
All right.
Oh man! Speaking about buying things that you may want to take back,
nice.
No Man's Sky is coming back in a big way with a multiplayer. Remember No Man's Sky? Remember that? The game that was legally corrupt because it just literally lied to everyone about what it was about.
Our version of a Ponzi scheme.
It's legit a Ponzi scheme, dude. So, No Man's Sky was this video game that was supposed to be this game with infinite possibility, says the creator. It was Sean Murphy. It could be wrong. And he was like, you can go to different galaxies, get in space battles, and there's infinite number of worlds in this game that auto-generate. And you'll never see the same person at the same time because the universe is so vast. Yes, it's a multiplayer game, but you're in a galaxy. And those numbers
that is so big that you'll never see another character.
And no one stopped to say that sounds boring as shit, right? Like, why?
No one just said flat out like that's impossible.
A, that's impossible, and B, that sounds boring,
right?
And so the game was lambasted. None of that worked, mind you. None of that actually worked. And when someone finally found someone else, it wasn't even a model created for that person, so they couldn't see each other. You know what I mean? It was such a blow up that the game just disappeared into obscurity and became the number one of a lot of really bad top 10 lists. You know what I mean?
Right.
Top 10 worst game of 2017, top 10 lies told by game developers.
Like, I would recommend Crobcat on YouTube. He did an excellent video on No Man's Sky and the whole debacle. He cut clips of things that he said were gonna, like Sean Murray said was going to be in the game, and then he cuts right to the game not having it.
Right. Rough stuff. So out of nowhere, we get this announcement that they're working on something called Project Next, where they're going to give us everything that they promised to give us right off the bat. So there will be multiplayer. There's going to be interactions. There's going to be new ships and all this crazy stuff. So everybody can play together. And I'm just like, talk about like going to a dinner party, taking a crap in the middle of the dinner table, leaving, then coming back to the party like nothing happened. You know what I mean? Like, how do you show your face ever again after something like that?
I don't know. And I hope that these downloadable updates are free.
They better be free as hell. Like free 99. Like no questions asked. It's just, if you own the game, it's just on your system when you get home. Like no microtransactions, none of that, right? Because this is a travesty, man. Oh, and for the last news article of the day, the biggest travesty is sometimes caused by the simplest actions. I want to call this article the butterfly effect. And not with Ashton Kutcher, but the actual technical term. So there was this game a long, long time ago, children, called Aliens Colonial Marines.
Right.
Created by Gearbox. It was supposed to be the second coming. Was supposed to be based off Aliens, the movie. It was supposed to be like a team action game.
James Cameron helped with the story, I believe.
Cameron helped with the story. It was supposed to be this huge game. And it, similar to No Man's Sky, it was all lies. It was all lies. They created this vertical slice of a trailer, which got everybody hyped, mind you. The game came out. The graphics weren't as good. They were on the trailer, kind of Watchdog style. The AI was so broken that aliens would just walk up to you like a puppy and just wait for you to pet them, or just be walking into walls, or just doing whatever. The shooting wasn't fun. The AI, the core game was broken to the point where the people who made it got sued for like literally lying to the public and selling something that they didn't promise to give. Similar to No Man's Sky, right? And this was years ago. I want to say maybe like 5-6 years ago, or maybe even older than that. Fast forward all the way to now. So there's some guy just modding the game just because it's on PC and it's something he can do. He finds out that all of the issues with the AI was down to one typo in the code. One guy, or person who was working on it, misspelled one word, and it caused the entire AI to freak out and break. And no one caught it. No one in testing, no one in any patches that the game had when it first came out. No one ever found this. And with that one fix, everything just worked. The AI worked. The creatures were aggressive and smart and did everything they were supposed to do. So it's pretty much like a brand new game. And I think this is the craziest story of the year, in my opinion.
Of the year?
Like, can you imagine, like, you didn't carry the one, so your entire company goes bankrupt?
I think it happens all the time, to be honest with you.
I'm sure it does. And it's just, it's not neglect.
Your phone's going.
Oh yeah, we just got the horror movie clubcast podcast just gave us a like. So shout outs to the horror movie club podcast. Thanks, guys. And this is on Twitter at mnerdiverse. Find us. So everybody. So I'm just wondering. Now, all these years removed, do you go back and patch the game? Do you send out that patch if you're Gearbox?
Hell no.
Or whoever owns this game?
What you do? What is it that you do with crap? You just flush it and move on.
Don't acknowledge it, man. You just let it.
No.
It really makes me kind of want to go and buy this game for $5 with that pack and play it. I need to feel it. I need to see. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
I kind of want to do that. Like, I want to go get the PC version, get it running, put the fix in, and just stream it. Because there's got to be a whole generation of people who've never seen this game. You know what I mean? So
I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah,
I may do that. Like, just me, Mike G. So, oh man. So that's the crazy news this week. You ready for some questions, my good sir?
hit me with them.
Hit me. We're playing Gin Rummy Spades Bidwis. Nobody knows what Bidwis is, or probably Gin Rummy. I'm so old. Questions. If you want to send us a question and tell me how old I am, you can send those to mastersofthenerdiversecast@gmail.com. That is mastersofthenerdiversecast@gmail.com.
.com.
Question. Some easy ones this week. With some lobs, as it were. Growing up, what were some of your favorite magazines? I know a lot of people are like, what's a magazine? It's a paper book with words.
Hustler. Game Informer.
Yo.
Soldier of Fortune.
Yo. What the fuck?
Game Informer, National Geographic, and probably Ranger Rick.
I'm a hustler, homie. You a customer crony. Anyway.
All right.
Ours. Oh, jeez. How do I defeat that lineup? Fangoria, Tips and Tricks, Electronic Gaming Monthly. There was this one magazine called like Cinema. I can't remember the name of it. Game Pro, of course. Remember those highlight books that you used to see at dentist dentist offices? They used to color and stuff.
Yeah, you got that.
Yeah, man. I used to like the highlights as a kid. Jet magazine, because used to read a lot of those little books. You go to like your auntie house and she have like a ton of Jet just on the table.
No, I don't know.
I don't know about that Jet life. There's somebody out there who feels me. You go to like your auntie house, man. She got Boomerang. She got the Boomerang Jet edition.
I feel like this is the aunt that won't put any product in her hair because she got to keep it natural. There's some reason there's a Black Panther statue
in the living room, and and all the there's plastic all over the couches and shit. Yeah, it's that aunt.
Yes. Why is Jazz playing here 24/7?
His auntie loves her some jazz. You can't touch nothing. You just have to sit in the living room and wait for the grown folks to finish having their conversation. But yeah, man, those were the magazines, especially Tips and Tricks. Because man, this is before the internet, and you just couldn't go online and figure out stuff. You had to like buy books and call hotlines and stuff like that. Because you just needed to know, and it would cost you tons of money. So yeah, man, Wizard magazine was huge for me because Wizard had all like the comic book stuff, and I learned how to draw just combing through Wizards and just looking at like shapes and body structure and anatomy. Oof, Wizard was huge. That was a big magazine for me back in the day.
That's good. Good pick. Good pick.
Second question: who is your video game waifu for lifu?
I don't have one. I really don't. If I had to
Everybody
choose,
has a waifu for lifu, man.
No. I can't go down that
Everybody
route.
has a waifu for lifu. Pick your waifu.
From a video game though?
Waifu for lifu.
I don't know. I was into Kim Possible.
That's fine. I guess I can take that if it's not a video game waifu for lifu. She could be your cartoon waifu for lifu.
No, this is a weird
I don't care. This is happening. Chun-Li is the waifu for lifu for me, though. That Chunners, bruh. Between Chun-Li and April O'Neil in the old school TMNT video game, the 4-player in the arcade. On the side, it was like a live action April O'Neil on the side of the arcade. That was the waifu for lifu. All day long, sweet Susie. Next question. What's your favorite version of New Game Plus?
A New Game Plus, huh?
Yeah, you just beat the game. The game asks you to boot up New Game Plus. New stuff is happening. Villains and monsters get higher rankings. You get to use all your old stuff. What's the most fun you've had in a New Game Plus experience?
I'll give my worst version of it would be the Evil Within 1. I did not like that system. Yeah. Or like any of the Resident Evils, I don't think it has a good Game Plus going on system.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no replay value for it to me.
Interesting.
Anyway, yeah. Maybe Wii Bowling would be my favorite.
Play that forever. Like,
because once you get a full 300 score or whatever, you get a star bowling wall.
Nice. You get that star roll.
Maybe I liked Halo. I think it was Halo that you would unlock like a harder version of it. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
I like that.
To counter what you were saying, it's funny you mentioned Resident Evil, because recently I've been watching a lot of Resident Evil playthroughs, and I gotta say my favorite New Game Plus is the zapping system in Resident Evil 2. Yeah, man, because you had to play Leon game A all the way through, and then you have to play the game again with Claire scenario B, and then you have to go back and play Leon scenario B, and then play Claire scenario A to get the full story. It's like you play the game like 4 times, but each time is different. Remixes of monsters. Mr. X appears in some of them he doesn't. Certain weapons you use in Leon's campaign you can't use in Claire's, and vice versa. So that was a game you had to play at least like 5 or 6 times just to get the full experience. So I would say that was a really good New Game Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I might take my.
No, I'm just saying that's my experience.
Like
between that and I think Castlevania: Lord of Shadows, I think that was the name of it. Had a really good New Game Plus, and of course Fallout 3. Just played that game forever.
Totally forgot about Fallout. I think Fallout had the good Game Plus.
Hey man, we got a new follower on Twitter. His name is Vinter. Vinter. Well,
see, I can talk while also on
Twitter.
Winter,
I really thank you so much for joining the podcast. I hope you like what we have to say, man. What you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to a weekend of writing some scripts. I'm trying to get back into writing a 10-minute play per month and getting those submitted around the theater community, becoming a playwright would be cool in this era that I'm sure not a lot of people are going to plays.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because there's not a lot of like submissions for full length plays, but you can definitely get 10-minute plays around because it's like you could do a couple of those a night.
That's what's up, man. Yeah. LA would be a good scene for that, man, because there's all types of like theaters and little hole in the wall shows that go on. Shoot your shot, man. I'm sure somebody will produce it, dude. You got it. You're a talented young man. Thank you, sir, mister. I don't know what that was. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But what do you have going on this week?
And plugging my neck into the Matrix. Looking forward to Comic-Con stuff. See what any fun news comes out this weekend. Still working on our Twitter, trying to get us more mentions, more retweets, all that fun stuff. Working on our social media, so you guys will see me out there commenting, liking, and subscribing to people's stuff because it takes a village to raise a podcast, as it were. So you'll see me out there doing that, and that's pretty much it. Just trying to keep my head above the ground and get this workout. MOTN reviews is going to be coming up probably sometime this week for Ant-Man and the Wasp, and we're going to be doing MOTN reviews for Mortal Kombat. It's coming out really soon. I just need to edit that bad boy up. We talk about the 1995 Mortal Kombat, and we just scream Mortal Kombat into the mics for like an hour. So that's just spoilers. That's just what we're going to be talking about. So I'm really excited for that. Any passing last thoughts before we close this bad boy out?
Yeah, check me out on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Trash Monk the Third. That's Trash Monk III. That's Trash Monk III. And yeah, I don't know if that's racist yet.
Let
Please
'em know.
message me if that is. And yeah, and be on the lookout. I'm thinking about. I stopped writing for one blog. They have yet to take my name off of it, but I'm fine with them never doing that. And I'm going to go where the trend is for most bloggers, and that is Medium.
Get your stuff out there, man.
Yeah. Yes, and become even more of a computer guy.
That's the new wage, man. Sooner or later, we're going to start swallowing computers, and then you just have the computer in your body. You got to say it like John Mayer. Body.
Your body is a wonderland.
Oh, that's so gross. Now thinking about how scurvy that guy is. Anyway, if you like this show and support it monetarily, please check out Masters of the Nerdiverse Cast at gmail.com and visit our Patreon. That's where you're going to be able to listen to all of our reviews, top 10 episodes, and more. So if you like the sound of this podcast, want to hear what we have to say about specific movies, all it takes is a quick $5 a month, and you'll have access to all of that juicy content. It's like a T-bone steak of content with all the trimmings, the asparagus and creamed corn and elote and all of that, man. You can always find this podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Google Play, and Spotify. I've, of course, been your host, Mike G.
And I've been Winter.
And we will always ask you to take that one step beyond.